Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com. Be the fundraiser you always wanted to be. A quick announcement. As a listener of the podcast, we are making the Engagement Fundraising audiobook available to you free of charge. Just go to iMarketSmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer. As a thank you for listening, we wanted to give everyone free access to Greg's Engagement Fundraising audiobook that you can get on Audible or Apple Books for $15. Once again, just visit iMarketSmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer. That's iMarketSmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer. Thanks for listening to the podcast, and we hope you enjoy Greg's book. Now, on to the episode.
Value.
Yeah, what's value?
Really, it's so ambiguous,
Are
right?
those the coupons you get from Walmart?
Yeah, it's value. I talk about value a lot, and it's so vague. You know why it's so vague? You want me to? I'm going to tell you.
Yeah,
Don't
tell
answer
me.
it.
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't know.
never answer my stuff. These are rhetorical questions. You're supposed to say, no, I don't know. Why? Tell us, Greg. Value is so hard to put your finger on because everybody has their own value goggles. In other words, everybody's got different colors or fog or no fog or this or that. Everybody has a different paradigm in which they see value. Value is in the eye of the beholder.
Right. It's the reason someone would pick one brand of car versus the other. They see value in that type of car versus the other.
Yep. And every single person, every single supporter, every single donor is 1,000% unique. I hate to use the snowflake concept because every snowflake is unique, but nowadays people call people snowflakes in a condescending way, and it's not nice. So I'm not going to use the snowflake, although I sort of just did because.
Sure.
But what I like and what's in my book, I like to say it's a big Rubik's Cube. Because Rubik's Cubes have all these different colors on the sides, but then you start mixing them up and it comes out to, you could have like quintillions of variations.
Yeah.
More than every human being on Earth. You could have variations of the Rubik's Cube.
It was, like Elizabeth was mentioning earlier this week, the Netflix VP, I think, that they don't have different personas of different people that watch their service. Everyone's unique and it's completely personalized in that way.
I love it when I see marketing people I'm sorry, fundraisers, all these people who speak at the conferences, and they say, well, you've got to identify your personas. Dude, no personas in fundraising. There's no personas in fundraising, dude.
Yeah.
It just kills me to see that. Netflix doesn't have personas, and that's because they know and they cracked the code on this. Every single Netflix user is 100 million% unique.
Yeah.
Similarly, take it from Netflix. They already figured this out.
Yeah.
Every single supporter is 1,000% unique. If your marketing staff says, well, we're going to figure out the personas and then we're going to give each one of them, force them on a donor journey. It's like, shut up. Shut up.
Not every CEO is the same. They're all very different. They have different experiences that led them to that point in their life of financial success. Everyone is just we're all people and personal and we're different.
It's so like 1990s personas.
Yeah.
That's when big data was first coming into fore, and it's like all these big data companies were like, well, you're the magical, mystical diamond in the rough donor. What? I don't know. They made all these names up, and it's like, no. Don't do that. Use the Rubik's Cube and recognize that everybody is different.
Yeah.
Right? And now fundraisers are like, what am I going to do? I mean, how do I do that with it if everybody's different?
Yeah.
Well, the trick is to actually not try to figure out everybody's complete uniqueness until you get or they get to the stage where they want to have a one-to-one relationship with you.
It's like online dating. You're looking at this database of people. You weed it down. You eventually start to have a conversation, and that point,
And the way you weed it down is by letting them, helping them, enabling them to lean in.
Yeah.
And lean forward into the conversation, letting them self-select that they're ready and they're in need of your assistance. And the way you do that is by providing value.
Yeah.
So now
value is different for everybody.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
But you can determine a value-oriented offer that is likely to appeal to people who are likely to want to eventually make a major or legacy gift at some point.
This episode is brought to you by us here at MarketSmart and Engagement Fundraising by Greg Warner. In this quick break, I want to remind everyone to go to imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer to download the Engagement Fundraising audiobook for free. This offer is only available to listeners of the podcast. It's our way of saying thank you for listening, and we really hope you enjoy the book. Once again, go to imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer to take advantage of this promotion, available only to listeners of the podcast. Now, back to the episode.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah, please do.
People are probably like, what? So how about a series of workbooks and videos on how philanthropic people figured out what to do with their wealth so that they felt successful in their lives and found happiness? Sign up now to get this complimentary workbook and view these short videos weekly. There's only 5 of them in the series that will help you understand philanthropy. Okay.
Yep.
Now, that's a fairly generic offer. You don't need to slice and dice, that this person has brown hair and blue eyes and, freckles.
Yeah.
You don't have to get into that.
No.
This is an offer that will attract people who are likely to want to find out how to be a philanthropist.
Yeah.
And if they opt in for that, now they're leaning in.
They're signaling to you that, yes, that is a value to me, and I align with that value proposition because I want to give in that way.
Exactly. Now, what if there's another person that they just really want to be backstage at the symphony to see the warming up and to have a chat with the musicians after the event, every event. They want to have that kind of VIP access.
Right.
Okay, that's another valuable offer. Again, you don't need to know if they're red-haired, blue-eyed,
right.
So what I'm saying is you need to come up with some valuable offers that line up with philanthropic or gift-oriented, highly qualified, high-value, VIP, needing people.
Yeah.
That appeal to what they're trying to achieve. So in other words, if they're trying to right wrongs in society, your offer should be aligned with that. If they're trying to gain notoriety, your offer should align with that, like naming rights.
Yeah.
If they're just trying to reminisce, it should align with that. If they're trying to find meaning in their life and figure out how to become a philanthropist, your offer should provide value in line with that. Now, here's the thing of why I'm talking about value, is because I think that the sector has gotten people to focus way more on overhead.
Like the cost-benefit analysis?
Yeah. The pragmatic cost-benefit analysis of giving.
Yeah.
Which is a shortcut for decision-making rather than evaluating the whole value, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at the Uber driver I told you about in another episode who was happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
Pulls up, runs outside around the car to get the door for me.
Yeah.
Helps me get in the car. I didn't really need help. Waits for me to be buckled in safely. Says I got water. I got gum. I even have breath mints. Let me know if the air conditioning is okay. Let me know what radio station you want before he skips around.
Yeah.
Happily, to give me VIP treatment. He's asking questions. What do you want? How can I make your life better on this journey? Well, the cost benefit analysis of me with that Uber driver or with another one.
Yeah.
How do I do that? It's the same damn price.
This is pre-tipping in Uber world.
Yeah, there is tipping, and I gave him a tip, but
yeah,
honestly, it wasn't that much more than I probably would have given anybody.
Yep.
A little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe he makes more money that way. But I'm just saying, though, the value of that experience with that driver was exponentially greater than just the plain vanilla driver.
Yeah. And he's not thinking about the overhead of bottles of water and vents. And
I mean, sure, it costs him some money, right?
Yeah. He gets joy out of that, I think.
I think the thing is that I think nonprofits need to, especially the leadership, need to puff out their chests, plant their feet on the ground, and say to their supporters, hey, you don't run this business.
Yeah.
Okay? And I know you can't say all this, but
sure.
This is what I want them to imply. If you want, send them this podcast.
This is where people will look up administrative costs versus stuff going to the cause.
And look at how many people do that.
Yeah.
And are led to do that because the media tells them to do that. It's a wild goose chase anyway, because none of that data is completely accurate. Why not stand on 2 feet, firmly planted on the ground, and proudly puff out your chest? Or again, send them this, telling them you're wrong, and you in the media, I bet you don't even donate. So who the hell are you to tell the rest of the world how to donate? You shouldn't be. The truth is, it's not about a pragmatic decision, and it's all about value, and value is in the eye of each beholder.
Yeah.
So shut up. Stop polluting the well and driving our supporters into the wrong lane where they're going to get off of the highway when they shouldn't be getting off. We're here to take them on a journey, and you in the media should be helping us. It's not about every nickel and every penny. And in fact, I think some nonprofits should proudly say, as Dan Pallotta said in his famous TED Talk, where he said, who cares if the bake sale only has 10% cost of fundraising, if it only generates $500? And what if my charity has 30% cost of fundraising, but it nets $50 million? What do you care? Which one is having a greater impact? Which one is helping supporters find meaning in their lives and find value? It should be based on value, not based on cost of fundraising. That's what this episode is all about.
Okay.
You got that?
Got it. Yeah.
All right. We're done.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Engage in Fundraising. If you like the show, make sure to review it on iTunes and pass it along to a colleague.
I also wanted to remind everyone to visit imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer to download the Engagement Fundraising audiobook for free. Once again, that's imarketsmart.com/exclusive-podcast-offer.
Thanks again for listening to this episode of Engage in Fundraising.